And what is up, Sci Let's talk about mitosis. Okay, this is a new vocabulary term that means a complex process of cells dividing and growing and changing and reproducing. So mitosis is a process, kind of like when we say the Olympics. It involves a lot of different stuff. But unlike the Olympics, mitosis is a step-by-step chapter book, essentially. So let's get into this. Mitosis. It's essentially how cells divide to make two genetically identical cells. So genetics are what make things what they are. So we need to make sure that when we make new cells that we pass on all the important information, so they have to be genetically identical. So mitosis is simply put as how cells divide to make two genetically identical cells. So if you start with one cell, and let's say we've got our cell here with a nucleus down here, some endoplasmic reticulum, maybe some mitochondria, some Golgis. When we go through mitosis, this process of mitosis produces two new cells that are both identical to the first one. So I'm just going to do this duplicate function to show that they're the exact same. When you draw yours, you should try to draw them the exact same too. So if we were to look this up in our science textbook, the definition that is the most complete way to describe this process of mitosis is that it's a type of cell division in which one cell, the original cell, is called the mother. So mitosis is the type of cell division in which one cell, the mother, divides to produce two new cells. Now, since these two new cells come from the mother, we call these ones the daughters. So those are their daughter cells. And they are genetically, so they're the same exact genetics, genetically identical to itself, or the mother cell. So if I go back up to my picture, I could say I've got my one mother cell, and I produce two daughter cells, because they're the daughters of the mother. Okay, so we use familial terminology here. So if we wanted to look at that again, even in plant cells this happens, so we could draw ourselves a boxy plant cell. The outside cell wall is kind of got the boxy straight shape, the inside cellular membrane. Then I'll draw myself a nucleus here and a large central vacuole, maybe some other organelles over here as well. So mitosis starts with a mother cell, and the DNA that's inside of the nucleus right here is going to be the exact same DNA in both of the daughter cells. And those daughter cells are going to be genetically identical. Okay, so they might not actually end up looking identical to the mother cell, but the genetics in them will be the same. So I'll end up with the same exact nucleus in both of them, or at least the nucleus will have the same exact information, even if the two cells actually look a little bit different from each other. All right. The goal of mitosis, like why would you go through mitosis? Because you want something to happen. And so the end goal is to make sure that each of the daughter cells gets a perfect full set of DNA. So when mitosis happens, we want the two daughter cells to have the exact same DNA as the mother cell, because the DNA are the instructions for how to do the job that the cell needs to do. If it doesn't have the perfect set of instructions, it's not going to be able to do its job correctly, and that's when cells start to act different than the cell before it. And so this can actually lead to cancer. It can also cause different cells to be able to adapt, meaning that it has a new set of skills that it didn't have before, which actually might make it more successful. So again, the purpose of mitosis, to summarize it, and to think about when mitosis actually happens in an organism, is when cells need to be replaced. as they wear out. Because stomach cells that we have today are not the stomach cells we were born with. They end up wearing out over time. So we need to reproduce and make more of those cells so they can continue to do their job at a really high rate, good efficiency. So cells need to be replaced as they wear out. Organisms need to grow. And single-celled organisms need to reproduce and make more of themselves. And if it's only one cell, it can easily make more of itself by going through this process of mitosis. But in other organisms, if something wears out, we need to replace it. We go through mitosis. If we want to grow and get bigger, we go through mitosis. So how do muscles grow? They go through mitosis and make more of those cells. All right, now you know. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.